History in Motion is proudly brought to you by Midas Sport and its associate sponsors. Welcome to History in Motion. In this episode, we're back at Zwartkops for the second part of our coverage from round 3 of the Midas Historic Tour. The sun might have been shining, but winter was most definitely in the air. Let's take a quick spin around the track before the racing begins.
Okay, we're coming into the start-finish straight now in the John Rowe Porsche. Third gear, fourth gear, slight dab on the brakes, and then slowly on until we flat out. Yeah, the track is very cold, so we're battling with traction at the moment. As you can see, our third down to second, and much slower than normal going through there. The car's all over the place because there's just no temperature in the tires. Fourth gear, fifth gear. Normally an easily flat out for a Porsche, but quite testing today to try and stay flat out. Hard on the brakes, back to fourth. Once again, and you can see the nose goes away. There's just no temperature in the tires. It's so cold today. Out, up to fifth, up to the top of the hill. Hard on the brakes. We've got to be careful not to lose the front again here. Went in not too badly that time. Third gear. Flat on the rev limiter, turn in. Once again, flat out. This is not too bad. Clip fourth gear, flat out down the hill. Back down to third. Try and line it up nicely. As you can see, missed the apex a bit there. Flat by now, and that's it. One lap in the John Rowe Porsche.
We start the action off with the SKF Pre-66 Little Giants, a class that is gaining increasing popularity and makes it easy to get involved in racing.
This is a car that I built for my daughter in 1990, and she has children, hasn't been using the car, and she gave the car back to me, and this was a good car to take racing, so I'm back tracing. Oh yes, it's a lot of fun. You gotta live a little closer to the edge sometime or other.
Keith van Heerden tells us a little bit more about his car.
It's a 1957 D-type replica, Ram-type English design, built here in the early 80s by Roy Carr.
How does the biting cold affect the track conditions?
It makes it very, very slippery, and it affects the engine performance. Gives you more horsepower because of the cold air. But the issue is you need to control it on the tires, and if the tires don't grip, you don't go anywhere.
Trevor Tuck heads up the field in his 1962 Alfa Romeo Giulietta TI, or Turismo Internazionale, qualifying 1.16 seconds ahead of Roger Houston in his 1968 MG MGB. Hopefully the glorious sunshine has done its work and warmed up the track slightly as the lights go out and the field piles into turn 1. Frank Copping and Roger Houston are side by side as they head into the hairpin. Trevor Tuck leads the field in his Farmer Shop 24 Alpha, and it is Roger Houston in the CTR Racing MGB who takes second place ahead of Copping in the Mobil Electric Renault Dauphine. Wayne Plitt in his green 1965 Mini Cooper S is hot on the heels in fourth, but is being hindered by Ishmael Baloy in the red 1959 GSM Dart. Ferdy van Niekerk Sr. and Josh Dovey are side by side going into 4. The marvelous 1957 Porsche 356 against a 1960 Austin Healey Sprite. Side by side they climb up to the tabletop, but Dovey's Healey looks to have the advantage. Exiting turn 5 in the Trans-Africa Racing Dart of Ishmael Baloy has a look down the inside of Wayne Plitt. Is he close enough this time? Side by side they exit and continue on, neither driver giving an inch. Coming out of turn 8, the little Mini Cooper manages to pull away, and the Dart will have to wait for another opportunity. Summiting the hill to enter turn 5, and it's Ferdy van Niekerk Sr. in his double F Racing Porsche, who is forced to take the outside line, while Keith van Heerden in his 1957 D-Type Jag takes advantage down the inside line and holds it onto turn 6, forcing the Porsche wide again and securing his position ahead of Ferdy van Niekerk Sr. Jacques Bartman decides he's had enough of being a spectator and gets in on the action as he slips down the inside of the Porsche 356 entering turn 8. Behind them, Nick Parrott in his 1964 MG MGB GT takes on Gary Stacey in the Coastal Hire 1964 Ford Cortina. Parrott pulls off a spectacular move and passes Gary Stacey and Ferdy van Niekerk Sr. as they enter turn 1. Further on in the race, and Jacques Bartman's back steps out, causing the spin right in the corner, kicking up a tremendous amount of dust. He regains his composure and rejoins the track. The number 42 MGA of Stephen Britz retires as he pulls to the side of the track and calls it a day. Coming through at a rapid pace, though, are the leaders, Trevor Tuck and Frank Copping, neck and neck as they make their way around Castrol Corner and head up the hill. Copping's blue and white 1960 Renault Dauphine is really putting the pressure on Tuck's red Alpha, flashing right, then left. There's nothing in it as they round turn 5. Tuck edges out an advantage, but Copping is not going to let him go. Great racing, but it looks like Trevor Tuck has done enough in his little Alfa Giulietta TI as he powers ahead. Trevor Tuck takes the checkered flag and victory in Heat 1 of the SKF Pre-66 Little Giants. Waves from Tuck and Copping as they celebrate. Confirmation of the results then. Trevor Tuck takes victory by half a second from Frank Copping. Wayne Plitt held off Ishmael Baloy for 3rd place, with Keith van Heerden narrowly holding off Jannie van Rooyen for 6th. Problems for Frank Copping on the cooldown lap.
On the slowing down lap, a stone came off from Trevor's car.
Yeah, no, look, you're not allowed to throw stones at people. Sorry, Frank. It was an accident. I was trying my hell off to stay in front. This little car goes very, very well, and Uncle Frank drives it really, really beautifully. But a great race. Little Giants, fantastic racing. All good fun.
On the warm-up lap for race 2, though, it is Frank Copping who pulls off the track and retires. Obviously, more damage was done than expected. Trevor Tuck surges into the lead with Wayne Plitt and his little Mini Cooper S hot on his heels. Behind them, Ishmael Baloy and Nick Parrott enters the hairpin side by side. The Trans-Africa Racing GSM Dart of Baloy runs wide though, and this allows Parrott in his MGB to pull away, and Keith van Heerden in his D-Type Jaguar slips past as well. Into turn 3 and the battles down the field are warming up. Jannie van Rooyen in his 111 1965 Alfa Giulia is narrowly holding off Roger Houston in the CTR Racing 68 MGB as they power up the hill to tabletop. Up to turn 5, and a bit of a lock on the brakes there for Van Rooyen as he has to turn wide around Houston into turn 6, and Van Rooyen looks comfortable. The Mini of Plitt is not looking so comfortable though, as he's having a fierce battle with Nick Parrott's MGB. Parrott has the upper hand going onto the start-finish straight. But the Mini has a look, not close enough, and Nick Parrott holds on to 2nd place for now. Ishmael Baloy in his Trans-Africa Racing GSM Dart has caught on to Wayne Plitt, and they power up the hill nearly 3 abreast as Nick Parrott tries to defend but doesn't have an answer. Into turn 5 and the Mini edges out and advantage. The Dart and MGB side by side with Jannie van Rooyen's Alpha right behind them. Cameron McLeod is stranded in the MG Car Club MGB and can't seem to get himself out of the kitty litter. Up at the top of the track, it looks like Wayne Plitt is having problems of his own as he slows down dramatically.
I lost first and second gear. Same thing happened in my last race.
Trevor Tuck has no such problems though, and goes on to take the checkered flag in his second victory of the day in the Farmer Shop 24 Alpha. Ishmael Beloy holds on to take second, a mere 0.2 of a second ahead of Nick Barrett. Let's have a look at the results. Jacques Bartman did well to hold off Keith van Heerden and Ferdy van Niekerk Sr. with less than half a second separating the three. At number 10, De Kork in his 60 GSM Dart.
It was a good victory. I'm very sad Frank didn't make it. I don't know what went wrong with the car. But the Farmer Shop 24 Alpha is going beautifully, and I think maybe it's time to step up a bit to legends.
You know, it was a fantastic race. You know, when we started, I made a mistake, you know, because my car couldn't turn to the right all the time. You know, it's not turning to the right. So Nick, in fact, you know, realized that opportunity, and then, you know, he took me. And I was chasing him. I thought he was gone. And then somewhere he made a mistake. And I'm sure you'll mention that. And then, you know, I got him, and then I passed him, and then I never looked back again.
Ishmael gave me a gift on turn 2. I think it was the first or second lap when I just nipped past on the inside. I thought I was away and gone, but the engine just wouldn't pick up out of turn 4 for a couple of laps. And, well, Ishmael saw his opportunity, and youth triumphed over experience yet again.
Join us after the break for more great action from the Midas Historic Tour.